everybody, welcome to the channel. It's Robin here with AriesFireTarot. So guys, I'm just getting ready to do a new moon magic reading for you. So I've been doing new and full moon readings because the moon is so important on us spiritually and, you know, in different ways for the planet. So the new moon is a time to renew yourself and to refresh your dreams and desires. So you basically have a chance to start over again every day of your life. But when we have the power of the new moon and the full moon in the skies, is particularly peak periods to start over again. So I'm going to be using the Starman tarot card deck to do this, and this is a 5-card reading. So the first card we're going to look at is how to ground your magic. So I'm not quite done shuffling, but guys, I'm really interested in your comments, what you think of this reading and if it's helpful to you in any way. Guys, remember to subscribe if you're interested in receiving more guidance from tarot as your life unfolds. Please go ahead and subscribe. So we've got how to ground your magic here with card 1. And okay, I'm gonna do a deck cut here, guys. I'm not even gonna look at it. I'll show you guys. Wow, this is, you know, there's sometimes in tarot where like you just couldn't pick a better card, and this is one of those times. So we have the Ace of Fire here. This is the Ace of Wands, Ace of Rods, depending what deck you use, but the Ace of Fire. So how to ground your magic is to really start to understand it. You've probably been receiving impulses from spirit on how powerful you are and seeing synchronicities, or maybe you've been drawn to watch shows that are a little bit about, you know, witchcraft and people that have powers that other, like the mainstream people would call dangerous. Do you know what I mean? If you're watching maybe vampire shows and stuff where people are like clairvoyant, you could be seeing like messages, billboards, ads or whatever. You know, you could see it on your Instagram or Facebook that people are offering tarot card readings. You could have just literally stumbled across this reading and, oh, I think I'll check that out. So how to ground your magic is to start like really like there's no coincidences, understanding that there's no coincidences, and you're coming into a new evolution for yourself. So understand how powerful you are, and you'll be able to feel a little bit better about it. So what to clear to make way for the new, you guys? So we have the Princess of Pentacles. So the Princess of Pentacles, this is really interesting. So the princess is saying, and she's quite stoic and sort of stodgy here. What to clear is probably an expectation on monetary reward for the things that you do. Not everything has a like a monetary value tied to it. I mean, money is nice, but if people just did everything to be rewarded financially, I mean, what kind of a world are we living in anyway? So do things from your heart, you guys. So clear out the expectation that money is tied to everything. I mean, if you have a job, you should definitely get rewarded for that. But, you know, if you're doing things that are your sole purpose, like do things that make you happy. Like if you're starting to do tarot, offer free tarot readings, you know, or if you're starting an energy clearing business or whatever it is, whatever your passion is, like, and look for ways to donate your time, because that is so powerful. You know, and the universe sort of matches that energy of, you know, altruism and just love, the sharing of love. So definitely look for ways to share your gifts without charging for them. So how to connect to your power this new moon, really, really important card. So we've got the 7 of Cups, and you can just see from the stance in this card that, and I'm sometimes I get goosebumps when I'm doing a reading, and again, this is one of those times. So how to connect to your power this new moon is just to open up to it. There's so many options out there. You guys are absolutely limitless. We are not the limited beings that we're taught to be. You know, if you go through how people are trained when they're brought up, you know, school systems and then jobs and stuff like that, you know, you're taught to behave a certain way, and you know, just behave yourselves out there, humans. So, and knowing that there's more to your body and your soul and your mind than what you go and stand in front of the mirror and see. There's more to that. Like, you have an energetic body, you have a higher self, you know, you have all these chakras. There's all these densities and dimensions to be aware of. So connect to your power and understand that there's so much more to you, and the options are limitless. You can just keep on saying that to yourself. My options are limitless. So let's see what magic to make to call something in. Ooh, how exciting. So then we have the Princess of Wands. So check this out, guys. You have one princess that is like, she's definitely got a hard no here. She's like, okay, that needs to stop. But then we've got the Princess of Wands here, where she's again opening her arms. And the juxtaposition of these two cards, it's not a coincidence. You know, they're just opening themselves wide up. So I meant to say open wide, but anyway, you know, the arms sweeping up towards the heavens, and the magic to make to call something in is being receptive to these ideas that you've been getting. Don't blow them off, you guys. If you're having hunches and flashes of intuition, you're meant to see them. You could be getting messages just in the form of whispers that you're like, I don't even know where that's coming from. But Joan of Arc got a whisper. Do you know what I mean? Everything starts with an idea. So listen to those ideas and then start to manifest things really on a low level for yourself. Invite magic in. So the magic to make is yourself, like just to unfold yourself. Like, you're going to start to reveal parts of yourself that you never knew existed before, and to be comfortable with them and understand that everyone has this power. It doesn't make you, you know, you don't have to be part of a coven to understand that you have magical powers. This is really interesting. So let's see how to surrender and trust. And you know what, you guys, for me, this is one of the hardest things to do, right? Because I grew up in a really, really rigid environment. And I think a lot of people do. And we're taught to believe that there's only one way to do things. So sort of breaking out of that role can be difficult. So let's see what this card is. So we have the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands, it just talks about you've been on this journey and you've got a little bit longer to go, but how to surrender and trust is you just trust the journey. You know, there's a lot of people that believe that your soul just keeps on coming back down to earth to learn more lessons, and that you, like your soul planned everything out, all your steps and experiences before you were born. And I'm one of those people. So if you're going through a situation that you don't quite understand, you know, giving the trust that it's part of the journey, like that is the highest good for your soul and for yourself, even if it's an uncomfortable journey at that moment. And just to say to yourself, okay, well, this is for my highest good. I mean, even if it's not a great situation. Honestly, right now, you guys, like I just moved into a condo a few months ago, and honestly, I'm going to complain for a second. My upstairs neighbors are so loud, it's just out of control. So I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do these YouTube videos. And for some reason, it's part of my journey, and there's something here that I need to do. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not really enjoying this very much, and I'm tired, and, you know, I probably have bags under my eyes, but I was put here for a reason, so I'm going to keep going. That doesn't mean that, you know, I'm not going to be angry sometimes. And you guys could probably be going through a situation where you're like, what am I even doing here? Like, I hate this, or like my boss is a jerk, or I don't like where I live, I don't like my roommate, but it's all part of your journey. So, and it's okay to have feelings about that. You're not, like, there's a difference between being a Buddhist monk and being Zen about everything, and just being in your day-to-day life and going through your journey and understanding that there's going to be bumps in the road, and you're allowed to express yourself. But it's all part of your journey, and there's something to be learned there. And I honestly thought that there was something here for me to do, and I'm just going to continue on for a second. It was just last week I was walking my dog, and it was like -20 here, and it turns out like where I lived it's just a block away from where my grandmother used to live before she passed away. So I was walking by there. I often walk by there and sort of look up at her window where she used to live. And it was like 5:30 in the morning. It was extremely cold. And there's people walking to the bus stop and whatnot. And then I saw this lady with a walker, and she was coming towards me, and I was able to discern that she was wearing pajamas. So I said to her, "Are you okay?" And then the closer I got, I noticed that she wasn't wearing any shoes, but people were walking by her. And I was like, okay, I have to do something about this. So I took her into a building, and it was my grandmother's building. I walked through the same doors I would have walked through to go visit my grandmother. And I buzzed the super, and he came down and got her, and it turned out she actually lived there. But I feel like that's the reason I was put here in this place, even though it's extremely uncomfortable for me, and I'm having to do things outside of my comfort zone completely. But I just had the sense that I had something to do. There was a higher calling for me. So letting go and trusting the journey. And like, if I hadn't have been there at that specific time to help that lady, it didn't look like anybody else was going to. And she was headed for a really busy highway. So like, trust your journey, you guys. You're there for a reason. You could be put in an uncomfortable situation to help somebody, or it could help you on a karmic level that you might not even be aware of. So understand that your journey is going to be complicated, bumpy, uncomfortable, physically, emotionally. Just sort of surrender to it and go with the flow. So guys, I hope this was an interesting reading. I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know in comments any situation that you've been in where you felt like you were divinely guided to help somebody. So take care of yourselves, you guys. Bye for now. Bye.